Hi, welcome to this video on my fischertechnik TXT controller and robot. Last time I checked several things with my sonar, revealing that it does work, but sometimes with unexpected results. And this time I want to combine the whole thing again, and I want to check if the sensors are both working correctly, and then I'm talking about the touch sensors. So what I should do is, working with these, do the separate contact sensors indeed do what they should do. And as you can see, I have if-else statements for contact 1, contact 2 and for both. So the question is, will they work? And to see if there's any difference between the two, I am going to change a little bit in the algorithm. Contact 1 I want to have turn the other side. So that means that, let me see, I set contacts here, motor, the right motor stop, and I'd better set it to, well, let's see, they are both at, they are already both different, and this is what happens if you don't really comment things once again. So I will just put a comment here. And I will, yeah, this is a bit mixed up, of course. I put it in Dutch. Only the right side motor. And this should be only the left side motor. Both for the same distance. And then what does it do here? Spin around its axis. No, here, oh, that's interesting. I put it here that they are both turning the other way. So if set, it just drives backwards. If not, it spins. So I have to check that out. Anyway, the experiment is set up so it looks for sonar, which I shouldn't do because I'm now for I will start with touching only. So with the sonar placed very close to the touch sensor, I'm curious what will happen. Will it sense the by sonar first or by touching? So let's see how that happens. Let me first save this and then go running it. So with the AccuPack placed in straight line for the right side contact, let's see what happens when I start the algorithm. And it goes wrong straight away. So time to stop it. And also I have to use the battery pack and not the adapter. The second attempt is now at a measured distance of 20 centimeters before first contact. Since the sensor is placed in an angle, the closest angle to the battery pack is 20 centimeters. So let's see what happens now. If anything happens. No, I see that the display flashes. So I have to kill the process and start again. Starting again, see what happens this time. Now it works. And it just runs without doing anything. So let's see on the screen to the output, see what has happened. So let's first see what the output is. It says absolutely nothing except contact 1 is 1 and 0, it's all 0, it's all 0. So the question is, contact 1, was it even touched? Well, on camera you can clearly see it is pushed away. So what happened previously? Also no contact at all. That means that I maybe should place the battery pack closer to see what happens. Although I doubt that makes any sense, but let's just try it. Okay, new attempt with the battery pack put on 15 centimeters, but this time at half of the sensor, so not closest to the object and a little bit further away from the sonar. So let's see how this works out. Starting the algorithm. Hoping something does happen, but it doesn't, so I have to kill the process again. And starting it again. And this time it very clearly happens, but it stops and there's no turning at any sense, so I have to look at that as well. contact speed is 0, but it should turn, which it doesn't, so let's see what happens. Alright, so let's see what it did. Here it says contact 1, which identifies the right contact sensor as 1, contact speed 0, and what should have happened, contact 1, print contact is 1, that happens here, counter if is 114, that's good. Then contact 1 speed is 0, which is here. Camera action 10. Alright, next. Then set distance is 200 and set speed is 215. So this is correct, but why doesn't it happen? Because the first thing that happens is camera action end, which is quite okay of course, because here it goes to camera action and then it says rechtdoor set, and rechtdoor is Dutch for straight ahead. And since I don't know exactly where that is, let's type the code. Where does it say rechtdoor set? Here it says, okay, that's interesting. Okay. Does it say rechtdoor set anywhere else? This is getting interesting, of course. Not here. Not here. No. Only here for so far. Yeah, you can see it. Neither does it here. So that means that this is completely skipped, but I can only be sure if I put a line under it. Rechts distance 200. And it's mixed up of Dutch and English, but I don't care for now. Which is Dutch for only turn to the right. So let's see what happens if I actually put this to test. So back to the experiment. The new experiment is with the battery pack slightly more to the right, so it should touch the sensor halfway the sensor length, that is. Again 15 centimeters approximately. So let's see what happens this time. Does it turn to the right or doesn't it? Another point is, of course, that when it touches something at the right side, it should turn to the left side. But that comes next. Let's first see what happens now. Does it actually turn at all? No, it doesn't turn at all. So let's examine the screen output again. Okay, screen output. Oh, that's another thing. Although it was very clearly seen that the touch sensor was pressed, it apparently wasn't pressed enough to make contact, which is a bummer. On the other hand, let's make sure that it now will turn to the left. So I guess I will put in a minus here, which means this can be a -2. Because we're talking about the right side motor, and motor turning right means that it goes left. Yes, some logic involved, but I should keep this all the same as it is. Here I say rechts stop, links stop, which is right stop and left stop. And then I say right set distance and left. Oh, that's another one. Oh, that's a nice one. I've mixed them up here, because this is the left side, this is the left side, yes, any other things I should set straight? I don't think so right now. Contact 2 is the left side, and that is all there is to do. So right now the code is corrected, I hope, and should be okay. So, time for another test. And hopefully without having to kill the process. So for this next experiment I've put the battery pack a little more to the right at 15 centimeters from the sensor, laying flat on the floor, and I'm curious to see what happens this time. Starting the algorithm. Display flashed, so I have to kill and restart. Restarting. And this is not what should have happened. Does it see the sonar, or does it use the sonar? Whatever happens, I don't know. Also, it waits a bit. But since this hole is about a touch sensor, let's stop this test. Also, let's see if it actually is the sonar, because in the past it shows that if you think it's the sonar hasn't been used at all. So, what is the background of this apparent failure? So let's see what happens this time. Let's seek for sonar action. The lamp was done because it has turned. But again, I don't see any sonar. So it hasn't, or did it reach 100? Because after 100 it's really crazy. Here it's 78, now 87. This is really odd. I have no explanation for this behavior. Let's do one more and make it a little bit heavier with two flat-lying packs on each other at the same position. Let's see what that happens. Two battery packs lying flat on the floor on top of each other. 50 centimeters distance to the mid of the sensor. And it should be out of reach of the sonar. So let's just see what happens. If anything at all. Nope. Display flash. Restart. There it goes. This is interesting because now it did touch, and is the turn that really the result of the touch sensor being activated. And yes, this is very nice turning once again. Try to cut it, almost out of screen, but it really touched, it did turn. The question is, why? Was it the real thing? Was it the real thing or not? Let's just see. Start action. I don't see any contact at all. It does turn, but no contact. This is really getting strange. There's no contact made at all. Clearly done, but it doesn't appear in the output. So my conclusion, let's see for sonar output, because this was the start of this run. No sonar output either. So what I think I should do is let's see, after 100 turn distance set. It turns here. What if I change this and change the setup of the hardware as well, that I put the touch sensors a little bit further away from the sonar to avoid mixed setups, mixed results. And it looks like a good idea, because now it runs, it meets 100, although no, it runs for 100, it doesn't meet 100. And here it always turns, which is not such a weird idea. But as I turn here as well, I'm not quite sure why it turns. So I can set here something like nothing happened at all. I do different, I don't turn. That's a better idea. I don't turn anymore, but I go backwards. Yes, that's a better idea. Running back for 100 clicks or whatever it is. Backwards distance set. It's all mixed up Dutch and English now, but I don't care for now. Let's see how this works out. I'm very curious. And what I also can do is another else. because this is happening anytime now, and I doubt that is a good idea. So it's if print rechtdoor, which is straight ahead, and I think I am going to change that. That is a very nice idea. So how many lines? These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me do this because this line make no sense anymore. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Which is not quite correct. I have to delete them first. Well, that comes next. Yes. Let's see if this works out. After all, oops. Bit of nuisance those spaces, but I think it's okay. And that's the end. Then commenting this out. No. All right. Let's see how this works out, if anything. Okay, kind of final test for today. Same setup, slightly different algorithm. Let's see what happens. No, I have to kill and restart again. Restart it. A. C. Nothing happens and it runs back, so that is successful. Which means that it didn't sense anything. Let's do it one more time. Let's shift the battery packs a little bit in its way. Slightly more. And let's see. Running again. I have to come again. It stops. It says 1, but it should turn right. No. Contact 1 should turn left, but it doesn't do anything at all right now. So some of the experiments have gone a little bit odd. Some improvements, some not. The sensors are not always responding as expected, seeing that they are touched, but the question is also, are they touched fully so that the sensor actually does respond? Good question for that. And with that, I'll leave it for now. Thank you for watching, and certainly to be continued next time. And who knows what the results may be.